Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Today is my top 10 favorite classic rock albums from 1976. And there might be an album or two in this series I'm doing where they're not actually classic rock. But that's the main thing, is classic rock. Just in case somebody complains. And as always, this is my top 10 favorites. Not the best. Write that down somewhere. And hopefully, I think in every one of these I do forget an album or two because, all of these years there's a lot of albums released, and I do, I check online and then I kind of go through my CD collection, but sometimes I miss one or two, and I apologize. So 1976 was a pretty good year for lots of great albums, but some of the ones that did not make my top 10, but I still love, include Led Zeppelin Presents, Wings Over America, Queen, A Day at the Races, Heart, Dreamboat Annie, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, Bebop Deluxe, Sunburst Finish. It almost made my top 10 until at the last second I remembered a certain album. Frank Zappa, Zoot Allures, Judas Priest, Sad Wings of Destiny, Bob Dylan, Desire, The Modern Lovers, their debut album, Rush, 2112, the Patti Smith Group, Radio Ethiopia, Aerosmith Rocks, Genesis, Wind and Wuthering, the Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. Like I'm telling you, there's lots of great albums released that year. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Ted Nugent, Free for All, Max Webster, a great Canadian band, their debut album. The Eagles, Hotel California, not a favorite of mine, but of course a very popular album that year. Frampton Comes Alive, the Rolling Stones, Black and Blue, Steely Dan, the Royal Scam, AC/DC, High Voltage, Jackson Browne's The Pretender, Bob Seger, Night Moves, and the debut album by Boston. So number 10, when this album came out, it was kind of disappointing for me and other fans of this band. But in the last few years, especially buying the remastered version of it and then later on this deluxe set of the album, I think it's a very underrated album by Black Sabbath. Technical Ecstasy is at number 10. Once again, another album that when it came out in 1976, possibly a disappointment for some. I thought it was good, but through the years I've grown to appreciate it a lot more. It's still not one of the best from this band or artist, but it's really, 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 really good. It is Wings at the Speed of Sound. Number 9. And, some of you might question, well, how can you like that more than Wings Over America? And it's just that I'm more of a, I do love live albums. In fact, some of my favorite live albums are way at the top. Grand Funk's live album, Genesis Live. But overall, I prefer studio albums to live albums. So, that's my reason. Number 8, once again, I feel a very underrated album. George Harrison's 33 and a Third. Dear One, Beautiful Girl, True Love, Pure Smoky, Cracker Box Palace. Yeah, the whole, every song. Might as well have read every song on the album. 10, 9, 8. Number 7, a band I'm really starting to get back into. And I did buy this album when it came out in 1976, and I really enjoyed it, but, through the years I kind of lost interest in them off and on. But I'm appreciating them once again. Electric Light Orchestra with A New World Record. Jeff Lynne is a musical genius. Write that down. Number 6. I remember waiting and waiting and waiting for this album to come out. And what's kind of funny is they'd released a live album the year before. But still, it was a long wait back then, because bands used to sometimes release a new album every 8 or 9 months. And so I was very happy when this album came out, and I loved it. And I still do. Blue Oyster Cult's Agents of Fortune. And I do remember, I didn't listen to the radio very much back in the day, but one day I had the radio on, and I heard Don't Fear the Reaper, and I'd never ever heard Blue Oyster Cult on the radio, and it was like a shock. It's like, oh my God, they're playing Blue Oyster Cult on the radio. And I think they've been playing that song a bit more since the first time I heard it. Number 5. The final album with the original 4 members, and my favorite by them, 10cc, How Dare You. What a great band. And I did, when they broke up, 2 of the members left, I still bought the next couple of albums and really enjoyed them. So, 10cc. Number 4 is the album I almost forgot because I just recently bought it. And I'm still getting to know it, but I'm already blown away by this band and this album and some of their other ones. It is the prog rock band Nectar with Recycled, which is awesome. If you love prog rock, you have to check this band out. And the other 3 that I have by them, their most well-known, Remember the Future, which is incredible. And their debut, Journey to the Center of the Eye, which is amazing. And the only one that I'm a bit disappointed in, and I was expecting to be from reading about it, is Down to Earth, which was between Remember the Future and Recycled. And it's shorter songs, a bit more commercial. It's not, it's good, and I've only listened to it once, but it's not really prog rock. It's more, like I said, commercial. But still good. Maybe I just need to listen to it more. But Recycled. Check it out. Number 3. Who else but Sparks with Big Beat? And they have a new album coming out. I need to do a video on that actually in May. The Girl Who Cried Into Her Latte, I think that's what it's called. And Molly and I are seeing them in Toronto in July, early July. And they're playing at the Hollywood Bowl. Number 2, one of the greatest debut albums ever. Very short though. It's like, I think around 30 minutes long. And, back in the day, of course, there was no internet, believe it or not. And you'd hear about a band and you'd buy the album not knowing what it's going to be like. And you're just hoping it's going to be good. And I was not disappointed when I finally heard Ramones. One of the greatest debut albums ever. Number 1. One of my favorite solo artists of all time. It is David Bowie with Station to Station. His vocals on the whole album are just amazing. And Station to Station, Golden Years, Word on a Wing, TVC15, Stay, Wild as the Wind. His vocals on that are just out of this world. So yeah, number 1 for me is Station to Station. I would love your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.